Saddam was born in the village of Al-Auja, near Tikrit in northern Iraq, to a Sunni Arab family. He joined the Ba'ath Party in 1957 and later in 1966 the Iraqi and Baghdad-based Ba'ath parties. He played a key role in the 17th July Revolution and was appointed vice president by Ahmed Hassan al-Bakr. During his tenure as vice president, Saddam nationalized the Iraq Petroleum Company, diversifying the Iraqi economy. He presided over the Second Iraqi-Kurdish War, 1974 to 1975, and the Algiers Agreement, which settled territorial disputes along the Iran-Iraq border. Following al-Bakr's resignation in 1979, Saddam formally took power, although he had already been the de facto head of Iraq for several years. Positions of power in the country were mostly filled with Sunni Arabs, a minority that made up about a fifth of the population. In 1979, upon taking office, Saddam purged the Ba'ath Party. He ordered the invasion of Iran in 1980 in a purported effort to capture Iran's Arab-majority Khuzestan province and end Iranian attempts to export its 1979 revolution to the Arab world and overthrow his regime. The Iran-Iraq War ended in 1988 in a stalemate, after 1 million people were killed and Iran suffered economic losses of $561 billion. At the end of the war, Saddam ordered the Anfal campaign against Kurdish rebels who sided with Iran, recognized as an act of genocide by Human Rights Watch. Later, Saddam accused his former ally Kuwait of slant-drilling Iraq's oil reserves and invaded the country, initiating the Gulf War, 1990 to 1991, which ended in Iraq's defeat by a United States-led multinational coalition. The United Nations subsequently placed sanctions against Iraq. Saddam brutally suppressed the 1991 Iraqi uprisings of the Kurds and Shias, which sought to gain independence or overthrow the government. Saddam adopted an anti-American stance and established the Faith Campaign, pursuing an Islamist agenda in Iraq. In 2003, a U.S.-led coalition invaded Iraq, falsely accusing Saddam of developing weapons of mass destruction and of having ties with al-Qaeda. After the quick coalition victory in the war, the Ba'ath Party was banned and Saddam went into hiding. After his capture on the 13th of December 2003, his trial took place under the Iraqi interim government. On 5 November 2006, Saddam was convicted by the Iraqi High Tribunal of Crimes Against Humanity related to the 1982 Dujail massacre of over 140 Shia Muslims and sentenced to death by hanging. He was executed on December 30th, 2006. A highly polarizing and controversial figure, Saddam dominated Iraqi politics for 35 years and was the subject of a cult of personality. Many Arabs regard Saddam as a resolute leader who challenged Western imperialism, opposed the Israeli occupation of Palestine, and resisted foreign intervention in the region. Conversely, many Iraqis, particularly Shias and Kurds, perceive him negatively as a dictator responsible for severe authoritarianism, repression, and numerous injustices. Human Rights Watch estimated that Saddam's regime was responsible for the murder or disappearance of 250,000 to 290,000 Iraqis. Saddam's government has been described by several analysts as authoritarian and totalitarian, and by some as fascist, although the applicability of those labels has been contested.